Welcome to the Sportstar Conclave Focus Punjab edition. The Focus Punjab Conclave is the third stop for 2024 in a series of conclaves Sportstar has held since 2021. These day-long events are an opportunity for athletes, administrators, and other stakeholders to come together under one roof to discuss key issues pertaining to the sports ecosystem in that particular region. The Sportstar Conclave has held fruitful stops at a variety of places, including Chennai, Lucknow, Guwahati, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Thiruvananthapuram, Kolkata, and Goa. And we are excited to be here in Chandigarh to dedicate a half a day to the vibrant sporting culture of state of Punjab. And also, there's no denying the power of social media. In case you're planning on posting any pictures, videos, or any comments related to this event across any of your social media platforms, please do not forget to use the hashtag SportstarConclave. Before we move any further, I'd like to take a moment and express our deepest gratitude to our partners for helping us turning our vision into reality. Hero Motorcorp, Indian Oil Corporation Limited, Punjab Government, Great Sports Tech, KPMG, and NewsX. Now, without any further ado, to deliver the opening address, join me as I welcome Mr. Ayon Sen Gupta, Editor, Sportstar.
India now is aiming for a record haul from the Paris Games later in the year. A lot of athletes from the state present here today have already secured their berth to be in Paris, and we are fortunate to hear about their aspirations and dreams later in the day. The Sportstar Conclave aims to bring together various prominent sports organizations, distinguished individuals from sports fraternity, sports media experts, sports governing bodies, and state governments for dialogues on sports development in India. We hope these dialogues will act as a catalyst to propagate sports in India by identifying and nurturing talent. This event will provide a platform for sharing vital information and for future collaboration among organizations. Punjab, like the rest of the country, is seeing a sporting revolution with the state government actively supporting sports and sportspersons with various schemes, including the cash incentive scheme for medal winners, the government's proposal to create 1,000 cluster-level sports nurseries with coaching, sports equipment and refreshments, and also district-level sports structure with 200 sports hostels in each district, augurs well for budding athletes of the state. The sports policy tabled in 2023 also assures us of a huge increase in the appointment of quality coaches in the state, the bulwark of any sports development. Punjab for long has been the cradle of Indian sport, producing multiple Olympians in hockey, track and field, shooting and other sports. And we are sure with active support of the state government, the number will only grow in the coming years. We are fortunate to hear from the Honorable Minister soon about his and his government's vision for sports development. Indian athletes now are medal and podium contenders at the world stage and not mere participants. The encouragement and support from the government, like that of Punjab, and corporates have made this dream a reality. However, we believe that the state and the region have a lot more to offer and can produce many more champions and help India in achieving its dream of becoming a sporting superpower. The civil society, the corporate world with their CSR initiatives, and the government need to work in tandem to achieve this.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਦਾ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਕਨਕਲੇਵ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੁਲਾਇਆ ਬੋਲਣ ਦੀ ਓਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਸਰ ਇੱਕ ਕਰੈਕਟ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ that Punjab got 20 medals, not 19 in recent Asian Games. ਤੇ 1951 ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ 15 ਮੈਡਲ ਸੀਗੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਤੇ ਉਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਸਿਰਫ 6 ਕੰਟਰੀ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਗੇਮਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਵਾਰੀ 50 ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 20 ਮੈਡਲਸ ਤੇ 32 ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਲੇਅਰ ਸੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਡਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਖਿਡਾਰੀਆਂ 'ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਰੋਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਉਹ ਸਟੇਟ ਆ, ਉਹ ਸੂਬਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਨੇ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਖੇਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਖੇਡਾਂ 'ਚ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੀ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਵੀ ਲੰਬੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਖਿਡਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਇੱਕ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਹੈ। ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੇਟਵੇ ਆਫ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫਰੰਟ ਤੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਧਾੜਵੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਹਮਲੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਲੜਦੇ ਰਹੇ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਦਲੇਰੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਉਹ ਖੂਨ 'ਚ ਆ ਗਈ, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਗਰਾਊਂਡ 'ਤੇ ਵਰਤਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ 80% ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੰਟਰੀਬਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਸੀ। ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਲੰਬਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਐਟ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਲੈਵਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਨੰਬਰ 1 ਰਹੇ, ਬਟ ਪਿਛਲੇ 20 ਸਾਲ 'ਚ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਡਿਕਲਾਈਨ ਆਇਆ। ਪਰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਗੇਮਸ ਜੋ ਮੈਡਲ ਆਇਆ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਹੌਸਲਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਕਿ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ ਨੰਬਰ 1 'ਤੇ ਲਿਜਾਣ ਲਈ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲਗਾਤਾਰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਦਿਨੀ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੇ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ 100% ਦਾਅਵੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਪੂਰੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ 'ਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਸਟੇਟ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਮੁਕਾਬਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ। ਸਰਬਜੀਤ ਜੀ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ACS ਨੇ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਦੇ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 6 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਮੀਟਿੰਗਸ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ, ਸਾਰੀ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ, ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਕੋਈ ਐਮੀਨੈਂਟ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਪਰਸਨ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾਇਆ ਅਤੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਰਾਏ ਮਸ਼ਵਰਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਤਿਆਰ ਕੀਤੀ। ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ 3 ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਫੋਕਸ ਕੀਤਾ। ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਬੰਦ ਤੋਂ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਕਰਤਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੋਈ ਖਿਡਾਰੀ ਮੈਡਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕੋਈ ਕਾਮਨਵੈਲਥ 'ਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, ਕੋਈ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਗੇਮਸ 'ਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, ਕੋਈ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਗੇਮਸ 'ਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ 75 ਕਰੋੜ ਰੁਪਈਆ ਕੈਸ਼ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਖਿਡਾਰੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਲੈਵਲ 'ਤੇ ਮੈਡਲ ਲਿਆ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮਾਨ ਸਨਮਾਨ ਦੇਣਾ, ਉਹਦਾ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਸਿਕਿਉਰ ਕਰਨਾ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਨੌਕਰੀ ਦੇਣੀ। ਅਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਸਟੈਪ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਟੈਲੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਈਡੈਂਟੀਫਾਈ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ, ਸ਼ਹਿਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ, ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਟੈਲੈਂਟ ਆਈਡੈਂਟੀਫਾਈ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਿੰਗ ਦੇਣੀ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਦੇਣੀਆਂ, ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਲੈਵਲ 'ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹ ਸਿਕਿਉਰ ਕਰਨਾ। ਸੋ 3 ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੇਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹ ਪਾਲਿਸੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੋਕਸ ਕੀਤਾ।
Influence extended beyond that defining goal. He initiated the move leading to the title-winning goal in the final against Pakistan. The left winger's adept playmaking skills were instrumental in securing India's triumph, making the only occasion India clinched the World Cup. He made his international debut in 1969 against Kenya in a test series in Amritsar. He became a stalwart for the Indian men's hockey team. His journey included a bronze medal win at the 1972 Olympics. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome on stage Brigadier Harcharan Singh, member of the 1975 Hockey World Cup winning team. I must request Mr. Singh to kindly say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think month of February has been very lucky for me. Last 25 days, this is the 3rd honor I'm lucky to have bestowed upon with. 2nd February, from Guru Nanak Dev University, I got the most prominent alumnus award in Amritsar. 22nd of this month, one was part of the iconic Indian hockey team. We were conferred with as Hockey Legends Award. And now, making the hat trick, like my medals in the World Cup, this is the 3rd one that I am being honored with, for which I am grateful to our young Sports Minister Punjab, Shri Gurmeet Singh Meet Her ji, and the Hindu group who are kind enough to have considered me and given this award to me. So for which I am grateful to all of you.
And even though Mr. Uday Saharan couldn't be here with us today at this particular moment, he did send an AV thanking us. So could I please request everybody's kind, undivided attention towards the big, beautiful screen right here on the stage. Let's quickly take a look at the video message.
First of all, I would like to apologize that I could not be present there today because I have a cold and a fever. Secondly, I would like to thank Sportstar for selecting me as the recipient for the Young Achievers Award. I am feeling very humbled and at a loss of words for all the love and support through the years I have gotten so far. I am honored to receive this recognition. It solidifies my beliefs and inspires me to work even harder. Thank you very much.
Join us in the conversation as we welcome our first panel. And to welcome the panel, first and foremost, I'd like to welcome the moderator. Please give it up for Mr. Shayan Acharya, Senior Assistant Editor, Sportstar.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's so good to be in Chandigarh and talk about cricket in Punjab. I'm joined by 4 dignitaries who have served the game, has seen the game come a long way. And without any further ado, I would like to have them on stage.
तो यही है कि पिछले 30-40 साल से जो भी हमारा पंजाब का जो सिस्टम रहा है, लाइक डिस्ट्रिक्ट इंटर डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैचेस, तो बहुत बढ़िया रहा है एंड इट हैज़ गिवन रिजल्ट्स आल्सो. और वही चीज़ अभी जैसे मुझे अभी सीज़न ही ख़त्म हुआ है सर, जैसे मैं सुन रहा हूँ कि अगले महीने से यहाँ पे इंटर डिस्ट्रिक्ट एज ग्रुप्स और सीनियर के भी टूर्नामेंट शुरू हो जाएंगे. तो प्रेपरेशन और सिस्टम इज़ एक्सीलेंट. तो मैं पहले तो जब भी एक ही बार रणजी ट्रॉफ़ी जीते, वही जैसे हरचरण सर ने बात की कि पंजाब पहले क्रिकेट के लिए ही जाना जाता था. रणजी ट्रॉफ़ी जब 92 से पहले कि हॉकी प्लेइंग स्टेट अगर क्रिकेट में रणजी ट्रॉफ़ी जीते तो बहुत क्रेडिट जाता है प्लेयर्स को, पीसीए को, जो कि इतना बढ़िया हमें प्लेटफॉर्म दिया था. एंड वन मैन बिशन पाजी, ही वाज आवर कोच. तो उन्होंने जो भी टैक्टिक्स प्लानिंग वेरी तो की, तो सब जिन्होंने उसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया. उसके बाद से ही फिर काफ़ी प्लेयर जो भी इंडिया के लिए खेले, लाइक पंकज, विक्रम और जितने अपना सब खेले, तो उससे काफ़ी फ़र्क पड़ा. क्योंकि पहले यही होता था कि नॉकआउट्स में हमेशा क्वालिफाई नहीं करते थे. तो जब ये तैयारी हुई लेट 80s से तो स्टार्ट हुआ, तो उसके बाद ऑब्वियसली ईरानी ट्रॉफ़ी भी पहुँचे, रणजी ट्रॉफ़ी भी जीते. प्लस जैसे आप बात कर रहे हो, पिछले जितने भी वर्ल्ड कप हुए हैं, हम हर वर्ल्ड कप में अंडर 19 वर्ल्ड कप में हमारे पंजाब के प्लेयर जरूर रहे हैं.
मेरे हिसाब से इट्स नॉट अबाउट कि मेंटल ब्लॉक है और एनीथिंग है. इट्स ऑल अबाउट कि एबिलिटी टू चेंज योर गेम अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस फॉर्मेट ऑफ द गेम. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर एवरी पर्सन हु इज़ प्लेइंग क्रिकेट. तो मेरे लिए सबसे बड़ा यही रहेगा कि एबिलिटी जब होएगी अपनी उस फॉर्मेट को अडेप्ट करने की. क्योंकि अब क्या हो गया कि आप कुछ महीने खेलते T20, उसके अगले महीने आप खेलते वनडे, उसके बाद सीधा डेज गेम है. तो वो फॉर्मेट चेंज करने की एबिलिटी जिस टीम में जितनी जल्दी होएगी वो जल्दी प्रोग्रेस करेगा. और आप ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड देखेंगे पंजाब क्रिकेट एसोसिएशन का, जो मैं इतने साल से खेलता हूँ, कि आउटस्टैंडिंग रहा है हमारा रेड बॉल के लिए भी. ये नहीं मैं कह सकता कि वाइट बॉल के साथ आपने बेटर रिजल्ट लिया कि आपने ट्रॉफ़ी जीत ली तो आप अच्छे हो गए वाइट बॉल से, कि और रेड बॉल से आपने ट्रॉफ़ी नहीं जीती तो आप ख़राब हो गए. तो मेरा ये मानना है कि जो प्लेयर की क्षमता है वो आप देखेंगे कि हमारे टेस्ट टीम में भी, इंडियन टीम के लिए भी खेले हमारे पंजाब के प्लेयर्स. तो मतलब एबिलिटी है तभी वो वहाँ पे जाके खेल पा रहे हैं. और मेरा ये मानना है कि ट्रॉफ़ी जीतने से ही नहीं आपको हर चीज़ हासिल होती, आपकी अच्छी क्रिकेट खेलने से हासिल होती है. और जो मेरे को लगता है पूरे इतने टाइम में, जो 10 साल 12 साल मैं खेला हूँ पंजाब के लिए, अभी खेलता आ रहा हूँ और भी साल खेलूँगा, तो मेरा यही मानना है कि जो प्लेयर्स इमर्ज हुए हैं कि आपने देखा होगा कि हमारे कितने लड़के IPL भी खेल रहे हैं, हिंदुस्तान के लिए भी खेल रहे हैं, वो किस कारण खेल रहे हैं? क्योंकि उनमें एबिलिटी है उस चीज़ के लिए। तो मेरे हिसाब से इट्स अ क्लिक अवे, तो कभी ना कभी हम उस प्लेटफॉर्म पे पहुंच जाएंगे जहाँ पे हमारे हाथ में फिर एक दोबारा ट्रॉफी होगी।
For a sportsman, for a cricketer to play all the three formats, you need a lot of fitness and you need to fine-tune your mind at the right time. Some sports people, they find it very easy. The legends, when they do it, for example, I have played with Sachin Tendulkar. We used to see him how easily he used to switch on from T20 cricket to 50 overs to Test cricket. From playing in India and after 1 week playing in Australia and scoring runs there. So that fine-tuning, you have to do it on your own. You must know the conditions, what is required there, what shots I'll play, what bowling I will do that. So a sportsman in these days has to be very smart to be successful. And the younger generation are coming. The time now has come that the younger generation are more lured in with T20 cricket because lot of, you can say, even the big bucks are there, and the 4-day cricket, Test cricket is, I'll say, not fading away, but having a back seat at the moment, and we as administrators of the game has to do a lot to save it. So, but the older ones, like you say, Rohit Sharma, R. Ashwin, they feel proud when they represent their country in Test cricket and having 500 wickets, scoring 7, 8, 10,000 runs. They understand the value that Test cricket is the toughest mode of the game in cricket among all the three formats. And maybe the young generation may not agree with me on this, but we also find that that is to play 5-day crickets in various circumstances and overcoming the opposition time and again and keeping yourself fit for that duration of the game is very challenging, and you need a good, strong mindset and your body to overcome all that.
वो टिकटिंग असी इन्नी अच्छी साडी टीम ने साडे नाल मिल के डिज़ाइन की गई भी पूरा स्टेडियम इन्नी अच्छी सर्दी इन्नी ज़्यादा सर्दी दे विच लोकां ने इंजॉय किया और फुल स्टेडियम सी। इस करके विजन जिवें हुण असी सारे जिन्ने भी साडे डिस्ट्रिक्ट लैवल ते है उन्हां नूं असी 3-3 पिचिस नवीआं बना के दे रहे हैं। वो साडा डिसाइड हो गया, इमीडिएटली असी उन्हां दी मीटिंग बुला के अनाउंस कर ताकि बच्चे उत्थे भी जदों खेलणगे तो वो इंटरनेशनल लैवल की पिच ते खेलन, उन्हों का एक्सपीरियंस फ्रॉम द डे 1 उत्थे तक पहुँच जाए भी वो उन्होंने ये ना लगे भी मैं जो PCA खेलूँगा वो डिफरेंट पिच सी, पता नहीं मैं परफॉर्म कर पाऊँगा कि नहीं कर पाऊँगा। इस तरीके ना सर बहुत सारे इनिशिएटिव्स लेते जा रहे हैं और ये एक नहीं है। इस तो बाद मैं मतलब जो समय तो मैं तो इन्नी चीज़ां असीं गिना सकते हैं PCA दे विच भी ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ अज तक कोशिश कीतियां सी वो नहीं हुई, पर साडी टीम एक इन्नी अच्छी टीम है जिहदी बदौलत हर बंदे ने दिन रात किया होया है। हर बंदा आपदी मेहनत नाल लगन नाल काम कर रहा है, कोई मजबूरी नाल नहीं काम कर रहा। इसे करके ही असीं ये अचीवमेंट्स बहुत अगे लेके जा रहे हैं। एक चीज़ मैं छोटी होर दसूँगा, सर भी बैठे ने, भुपिंदर सर ने भी, देखो 1993 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਰਣਜੀ ਜਿੱਤੀ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕਿਸੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਛੀ ਅਚੀਵਮੈਂਟਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਿਆ ਸੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ। आफ्टर 30 ईयर्स मतलब मैं थैंक्स टू साढ़े जॉइंट साहब एंड साढ़े सैकटरी साहब जो इन्होंने कमेटी बनाई तो जो असी वो टीम्स चुनते सी तो पंजाब दे कल्चर है सानू फोन भी बड़े आते सी आ मेरा बच्चा मैं चलो किसी नाम नहीं लेना चाहता, पर इन्होंने असी बैठ के किया भी असी मैरिट ते सारी ओच करनी है। और तुसी देखो ओदी सारिਆਂ ਦੀ मतलब कई सानू नाराज़गियां भी चलनियां पईयां, पर वो जो असी एक डिसीजन लै लिया, साढ़े जॉइंट साहब ने भी पूरा जोर दिखाया, उस सैकटरी साहब ने भी दिखाया, वो डिसीजन की बदौलत आफ्टर 30 ईयर्स सर ने 1993 जिते सी साड़ी शायद मोहम्मद मुश्ताक अली ट्रॉफी असी आफ्टर 30 ईयर्स पंजाब ने एक ट्रॉफी जीती। ये बिकॉज जो असी फेयरनैस इस टीम दे विच, इस क्रिकेट दे विच, इस गेम दे विच लैके आंदी एज ए PCA ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, ये अज तक भी कोशिश किसी ने की होनी होर मे भी किते रह गया होना। और तुसीं देखो साडे माइनर जिवें साडे मिनिस्टर साहब ने दस्सिया भी पहला की हुंदा सी भी अमृतसर तो पूरी टीम आ रही है, जलंधर तो पूरी टीम आ रही है। हुण तुसीं देखो भी साडे बच्चे छोटे छोटे डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स तो, अगर आप गिल साहब की गल कर ली, गिल देखो प्लेयर कित्थे पहुँच गया, कित्थों फाजिलका तो, उदय अंडर 19 कैप्टन बनया वो एशियन गेम एशियन कप का एंड वर्ल्ड कप का, वो कित्थों तक टीम नूं लै गया फाइनल तक। देखो एक गेम है, वो बच्चे ने इन्नी मेहनत की, अज आप अवार्ड भी दिता है। वो कित्थों का बच्चा, बठिंडा तो एक माइनर डिस्ट्रिक्ट तो जिवें आप कह दिंदे सी। हुण तुसीं जिवें कौल साहब बैठे पठानकोट तो, पहला नाम आंदा सी सिर्फ मोहाली, पटियाला, लुधियाना, इस तरह जलंधर। हुण तुहानूं पूरे पंजाब दे विचों नाम मिल रहा है बच्चों का, बच्चे परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, टीम्स परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं और हर फील्ड परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं।
We begin the second session of the day with an important conversation on sustaining the sporting culture in the state and by consequence its contribution to India's success on the world stage. Joining us on stage is the moderator for this particular session. Please put your hands together as I welcome Mr. Rakesh Rao, Deputy Editor, Sports, The Hindu.
But at least let's get started. I'm Rakesh. I'm a Deputy Editor with The Hindu newspaper and looking after sports for close to 3.5 decades now. That's about me, but more importantly, there are some eminent people joining us up here. I mean, first of all, I want to know, being a shooter from a state like Punjab, we know Punjab is a state for, we know it for hockey, we know it for, a lot of other games which are not as elitist as shooting. But then, of course, as I said, the warrior class in you, that warrior blood, that, of course, but, it's not surprising that people pick up the guns in the right spirit, of course. So how did you take up this sport to start with? And what kind of challenges did you face?
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would completely agree with you that shooting is very popular, and because it's of the warrior genes inside our blood, that's why everyone takes to shooting so naturally. As for me, I started shooting from a very small village called Badal, where I was studying. I was pursuing my graduation over there. So it was a very fortunate coincidence that I happened to study there because of my mother being there. And the same thing attracted me towards the sport, the challenge of shooting with the guns. So that's how I started, and that's how my journey began, from a very small village to the Olympic Games.
And the kind of challenges which you faced then, and now when you look back and see how the sport is, do you think it has evolved as you had expected once?
As far as performance goes and the facilities go, yes, it has evolved a lot. But being a sports person, I feel that with the little help of administration, a lot more could be done also.
All right. Anju, welcome. मुझे आपसे ये जानना है कि how do you actually look at your stream, because आपके इसमें it is such a precision sport where even half a point, half a point is a lot, that's 0.5 I'm talking about. It's all about getting those small margins right. And you have been there, up there, so close to winning the big one, but you've probably fallen just short. How do you deal with this kind of disappointment? Because the people from your state obviously give that robust kind of an impression that, look, okay, even when we are sad, we put up a very brave face. And if we look at your entire graph, you missed it by a whisker a few times. How have you dealt with all that?
Good afternoon, everyone. So आपने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा कि मेरा करियर में मैंने बहुत सारे सिल्वर मेडल जीते हैं. I've missed out gold by point something or the other. But I think जब हम स्पोर्ट्स शुरू करते हैं and हमारी एक्सपेक्टेशंस होती है हमसे, हमारे पेरेंट्स की कुछ, so I think that love and the joy we get from playing a sport, I think वही है जो हमें खींच के रखता है कि कोई बात नहीं, इस बार रह गया है, but let's do it the next time, let's work ourselves to get better, that 0.1 or by a point margin. So मेरे लिए इतने सालों में, मतलब मुझे 16 years हो गए हैं शूटिंग में, अवनीत दीदी हमारे सीनियर थे जब हमने शुरू किया था. So I think looking at the seniors, learning from what they did well and what they did not do well, how we can learn and get better each day. I think that is something that has pushed us, and now हमसे भी younger generation has started shooting, and there's so many good shooters from Punjab itself because of what Abhinav Bindra sir has done for India and Punjab. I think now everyone wants to win that medal at the Olympics. तो उसकी वजह से just seeing that you can't really win anything in one night. It's not a journey that should end that soon. So just that keeps us going. And I think at the end of the day, it's just getting better, enjoying what you do, and obviously fulfilling the happiness and the wishes of all the Indians is our dream too. So.
Sir here, like when I asked him about his age and something, he said, I'm only 93, which I just mentioned. And that itself is a statement by, because he still has that spirit. Let me tell you a thing or two about him. He was part of 2 Olympics. I mean, he almost made it. Then he and then he coached the Indian team as well. He has been decorated with this year's, or rather, presented this year, which was last year's Sports Award, and he got the much awaited and a much deserved Dronacharya at this age. And probably he's the oldest Dronacharya awardee winner in this country in all these years. Now, I just want to know from you, sir, how has been your journey and the kind of stuff that you've done? He is a director with Round Glass, like worldwide, this thing, and of course he wears too many hats. He's a very, he keeps himself extremely busy, but in the midst of all this, he still pursues his love for sport. Remember, he's 93, all right? So please. So I want to know from you your journey. Just if you were to look at the rear view mirror of your life, what do you see?
I didn't catch the much question, but I cannot resist to say a certain thing very frankly. So bear me out. I was never a good student throughout my college, though I didn't attend any college, but I did my graduation. Secondly, after my joining the Mindal College, where I played a lot of hockey during that period for the state, for the college, won all the tournament. At the same time, I joined Railways in '54, and take it easily, 30 years of my service, I didn't go to office 15 years. I was given the GM award for my not attending the office. Similarly, I am very grateful to the government of India thought this sweet 93 must get something. And this award is a very befitting inspiration. I tell you one very simple question. Life is not what you think of it. There is much more in life. If you think positive for the well-being and sharing, this is a nature gift. And a commendable job, many Karman, India #1 tennis players, we are sponsoring him.
हमने देखा है कि पंजाब में हमेशा एक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर रहा है, उस खेल के प्रति प्यार रहा है. आपकी जर्नी, अगर आप पंजाब से शुरू जैसे आपने किया, तो कैसी रही है अभी तक?
गुड आफ्टरनून. सबसे पहले मैं ये बता दूं भी अभी मैं राउंड ग्लास के अंदर हॉकी ओवरऑल देख रहा हूँ, क्योंकि हॉकी हमारी इंडिया हमारे पंजाब के कम से कम 10-10 प्लेयर खेलते हैं एट ए टाइम इंडिया टीम के अंदर. तो मेरा जो स्पोर्ट्स कैरियर है वो तो उसके बारे में बताऊंगा, लेकिन अभी जो मेरा मेन फोकस रहा है कोचिंग के ऊपर, 2001 से शुरू होके अब तक मैं कोचिंग कर रहा हूँ. और राउंड ग्लास के मैं आपको बता देता हूँ भी इसमें हमारे पास 18 डेवलपमेंट सेंटर हैं इन वेरियस डिस्ट्रिक्ट इन पंजाब, और उसके अंदर कम से कम 3-4 हज़ार बच्चे खेलते हैं. और उसके अलावा सबसे ज़रूरी जो मैंने बात समझी है कि गर्ल्स के अंदर इंडिया टीम में पंजाब की एक लड़की खेल रही है अभी. उसमें मेरे को ये लगा भी उसमें फोकस करना चाहिए. तो उसमें राउंड ग्लास ने 2 जो सेंटर्स हैं वो बोर्डिंग स्कीम के, एक तरन तारण में, एक जलंधर में लायलपुर खालसा कॉलेज में खोल रखा है, जिसमें हमने जो बच्चों को उनका रेजिडेंशियल स्कीम के अंदर उनका रहना खाना, ट्रेनिंग, इक्विपमेंट, इवन एजुकेशन, ये सारी चीज़ें हम लोग उनको दे रहे हैं. और बाकी जो 16 सेंटर हैं वो बॉयज़ के, वो उसमें हम लोगों ने एक एक कोच दिया है, जो कि पंजाब का मैं समझता हूँ एक फीडर सेंटर बन चुका है पंजाब। हम सभी एकेडमी जो अच्छी एकेडमी है पंजाब की, जैसे सुरजीत एकेडमी है, PIS मोहाली है, लुधियाना है, इनको हमारे बच्चे जो है आके वहाँ फीड करते हैं, वो ट्रेनिंग लेते हैं। और अभी रिसेंटली पिछले साल हम लोगों ने हमारी यूथ एकेडमी शुरू की, जिसमें हमने 26 प्लेयर लिए और उनको हम लोग करके आए हैं, जो कि हाई परफॉर्मेंस होगा, पंजाब का बेस्ट और इंडिया का बेस्ट, और मैं समझता हूँ वर्ल्ड क्लास फैसिलिटी होगी उसमें। उसमें मल्टीपल स्पोर्ट्स हैं, जैसे कि हॉकी, टेनिस और फुटबॉल।
देखिए, राजेंद्र जी ने अभी जो पॉइंट उठाया है कि हम शायद ऑप्टिमाइज़ नहीं कर रहे हैं जो फैसिलिटीज़ हैं या जो टैलेंट है या जो अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हम अपने बच्चों को दे सकते हैं, वो हम नहीं दे पा रहे हैं। एंड ऑफ कोर्स ही आल्सो स्पोक अबाउट द काइंड ऑफ क्वालिटी ऑफ कोचिंग दैट वी हैव एंड हाउ वी कैन improve upon it. And I think, Sarvjit, you are a wonderful, just the right person at the right time to address that issue and that concern of Mr. Rajender. So I want you to say a few words about that.
Good afternoon, everybody. I fully agree that the feeder system, the base of the pyramid, that should be well nourished, because we somehow look with enigma at the pyramids for this very reason that they're very stable. And that stability comes from a wide base. Right now, I think, pardon my saying so, we are generally focusing on the glamour part of the sport even today. Nobody wants to do the donkey labor, the legwork at the very base. That is where the stars are produced. As you rightly said that the Punjab had this culture of sports, or they were considered stars in sports in the country. The reason was that earlier the borders were open, there were no international laws really enforced, and fighting was the need of the hour. People had to fight for their survival. So fencing became a sport later, but earlier it was basically a mode or the means of survival. So I would say there are two parts of a sport. One is the skill and other is the fighting spirit. So Punjab was blessed with the fighting spirit out of compulsion, I would say. And after independence, perhaps that need was perhaps not that prominent. It was there, but perhaps that's why the people started losing that edge.
Over the past decade, the concept of high performance has taken a life of its own. Supporting an athlete is no longer just down to coaches. There's a whole ecosystem of services to help an athlete and coach to get the most out of the potential at hand. Joining us on stage is the moderator. Please give it up for Mr. Prasant Santakumaran, partner KPMG. And please welcome Mr. Vijay Lokapalli, Senior Editorial Consultant, Sportstar.
So just to kickstart the whole discussion, so I gave the context in terms of the importance of athlete support system, but maybe I'll start with Dr. Amit. He has been associated with Abhinav Bindra for the last, for about 5 Olympics. So Abhinav Bindra, we all know the first individual Olympics in 2008. But even before that, he had to go through a couple of Olympics where he didn't win the medal, but 2008, first individual medal. So it'll be good to understand the journey that you had with him to make him success, initial failure, success, and what you did from a mental conditioning aspect. So over to you, sir, in terms of just explaining your journey with him.
Okay, to start with, basically, Abhinav called me Ellie, a friend, a punching box, a sounding board. So the basic thing which is very important in the life of a sports person is to develop the relationship with the coach, to develop his understanding where he is helpful. As Avneet, Modgil, everybody was saying here, the shooting which stand 20 years back, it is in the same area. There are certain changes which happen. I will speak about it later on. So let's start with the first thing. 2004 was an eye-opener for us. 2004, we reached final in 3rd position, and in the final we lost and we went back to the 7th position. And that was eye-opening for us. So every method, every technology, everything which we used, everything failed. So we start very fresh again. You know, we work on every minute aspect of mental training. We work on every minute aspect of this technical training, every minute aspect of, you know, the environmental part. We work on the jacket, we work on the shoes.
It's wonderful. So, Vijay sir, over to you.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Sharma. You have done a wonderful job with Mirabai Chanu, everybody knows. उसमें कोच का इम्पोर्टेंस, कोच का रोल उस दिन, कंपटीशन के दिन कितना होता है? क्या आप पे भी उतना ही ऑब्वियसली प्रेशर तो होता ही है, तो एक दिन पहले में और कंपटीशन के दिन में क्या फ़र्क होता है?
कंपटीशन किसी भी एलीट प्लेयर के साथ काम करने में जितना प्रेशर प्लेयर के होता है उतना ही प्रेशर कोच के ऊपर भी होता है। हम लोग 2016 में, मैं आपको एक बड़ी अच्छी बात बताता हूँ जिससे रिलेटेड ये आज आपने सेमिनार किया है। 2016 रियो ओलंपिक्स में और मीरा खेलने गए थे, और उससे 3 महीने पहले हम लोग एशियन चैम्पियनशिप खेले थे। हमने वो टोटल किया था जो ओलंपिक्स में सिल्वर मेडल के लिए काफ़ी था, और 3 महीने बाद हम ओलंपिक्स 2016 में फेल कर गए। हम लोग क्लीन जर का एक भी अटेम्प्ट पास नहीं कर पाए। तब मुझे मेंटल ट्रेनिंग का वैल्यू पता चली कि कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है मेंटल ट्रेनिंग, साइकोलॉजिस्ट की कितनी इम्पोर्टेंट है टीम के साथ, और एक पूरा सिस्टम चाहिए आपको ओलंपिक मेडल लेने के लिए। उसमें एक साइकोलॉजिस्ट की ज़रूरत है, फिजिकल थेरेपिस्ट की ज़रूरत है, तो एक टीम वर्क है। तो वहाँ मुझे समझ में आया, और हम लोग जब दूसरा ओलंपिक खेलने के लिए गए टोक्यो में, तो हमने जो साइकोलॉजिस्ट की हेल्प ली, साथ में फिजिकल जो थेरेपिस्ट है उसकी हेल्प ली, तो हम बहुत अच्छे से परफॉर्म कर पाए। 2016 के बाद 2017 में वर्ल्ड चैंपियन बने, और 2021 में हमने ओलंपिक में मेडल लिया। तो हालांकि प्लेयर को जितनी ज़रूरत है एक साइकोलॉजिस्ट की, उतना प्रेशर कोच पे भी रहता है। तो कोचेस को भी ज़रूरत पड़ती है समय समय पे डिस्कशन करने की कि हम लोग प्रेशर को किस तरह से हैंडल करें। हम लोग भी नर्वस हो जाते हैं कि जब आप कंपटीशन करा रहे हैं तो पूरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आपके ऊपर है, कोई भी चीज़ गलत ना हो जाए, तो उस प्रेशर को कैसे हैंडल करना है, काफ़ी कुछ हम भी करते हैं उसको हैंडल करने के लिए।
So, John, I just wanted to bring you in. You have been associated with high-performance team, both the Indian cricket team, which is doing extremely well, and also Rajasthan Royal, IPL, all teams pretty much. So, from your journey with these teams, how has physiotherapy, the strength, the conditioning, fitness side evolved over the years? Just give us a perspective on the importance that's given to this at this point of time.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you to Hindu and Sportstar. Just quickly, the first magazine that I ever bought when I arrived in India 19 years ago was the Sportstar, off a little roadside stand at Apollo Bunda where I was living at the Taj, and it gave me my first glimpse into sport outside of cricket. I was in India, I was brought to India to work with the Indian cricket team, but that one magazine, which still exists today, amazingly, introduced me to how many other sports there are in India were being played passionately in India at the time. Even though cricket still dominated the front pages, when you turn into the inside of that magazine, I was quite astounded by the diversity of sport in this country. And when I first came, to answer your question, we tried to look at what is going to take Indian sport on the back of cricket and on the learnings of cricket to the next level and to be more consistent. And it's one thing to have technical talent in any sport, but if you can't match that technical talent with physical capability, then there's always going to be inconsistency in performance. And I think the Indian hockey team, and we all know the story of the Indian hockey team, was probably the most technically gifted team through the generations of the last probably 2 or 3 generations. And that was because they were extremely skilled at one-on-one. But as soon as we brought in the element of fitness, then the Indian hockey started to fail away.
Now, can you demystify sports medicine? Because that is more preventative. I have went for a cure, but it is also preventative these days in a wider sports side. So would you just want to explain what is sports medicine? What are the components of it for all of us actually? Thank you.
At the outset, thank you to Hindu for this invitation. So sports medicine, whenever somebody hears the term, the first thing that strikes to them is an injured player on the field and somebody attending to them. So we've always, it's common to associate sports medicine with just an injury which has happened and cure of that. But actually that is, it goes much beyond that. That's sports injury, but medicine means just looking at the whole aspect, everything else, you know, health-wise altogether for the athlete. And that would include everything that has just been discussed, including the mental health, the nutrition, which is very important. And when we talk of health and medicine are again slightly different. So it's also looking at, sports medicine looks at the general health of an athlete, which means we are looking at also prevention. So especially when we're talking of elite sports, once the athlete is going for a competition and he or she falls sick and then we attend to him or her, we have already lost out some time, which is very crucial when somebody is traveling to an Olympics village or for any championship. So what we need to do with these athletes is ensure that they actually don't fall sick, they don't get hurt, all of these. So that's where the sports medicine gambit is really big, because we look at everything from prevention to treatment. And within both these prevention and treatment aspects, it's attending to preventive nutrition, preventive psychology, preventive medicine, and also treating all of these. So when we talk of prevention, it means, for example, I'm from Reliance Foundation, and what we do is whenever an athlete comes into our system, we actually take them through an entire health check. So again, I'm saying not medical check, but a health check. So they undergo everything from blood tests to scans of, you know, the heart, etc.
So we'll be talking about harnessing youth sports for skill building. I'll straight jump into the panel. Start with Mr. Aditya Madan. You're part of the committee that drafted Punjab sports policy in July 2023. Could you talk us through what goes into the making of a sports policy, and how much of it is it youth oriented, since we are speaking about youth?
Hello. Okay. So thank you for inviting me here. So since the minister has mentioned this morning that we recently did the sports policy, and I was fortunate enough to be a part of that committee. So what goes on into making a policy was a big learning experience for me as well, because after a lot of time, a long hiatus, Punjab was coming up with a new sports policy, and we really wanted that it is as comprehensive as one policy should be. And myself, being a sports person, like at some point in my life, also wanted that the policy caters to the ground realities. So we kind of formed a good committee. We had experts on board. We had Dronacharya awardees. We had Olympians. We had administrators. And the best of it, we had Anand sir and Sarabjit sir leading us. And so we did a lot of stakeholder consultations. So like as Minister sir also mentioned this morning, we took a lot of time. We did not hurry. We took around 9 months before we kind of finally wrapped it up. And so my job was to do the research part and go to the field and meet the coaches, meet people. There are some officials here, the Deputy Director of Sports and Assistant Director of Sports are also here. So like the entire team went to the field, we kind of met people. I studied the policy of different states.
So I'll come back to you later with a question on the sports code itself. Moving on to Mr. Ranjit Bajaj. So the Minerva Punjab Academy is quite well known for the talent it scouts and develops. What are the key metrics that need to be focused on to ensure that budding talent that come to the academy go on to translate the early promise into greater success over the long term in their careers?
Thank you so much for first having me here and to be on this august panel, especially with Aditya, who have been really working, like he's been saying that he's been going there and doing this exactly. This is the first time the Punjab Sports Department has actually done that, and the results will follow. So it's never, with sports, you got to understand that it's never, no matter what sports, it's never overnight magic. you have to it's like a plant, you plant the seeds, and it depends on how well you take care of the plant, you'll get the kind of fruits you deserve. So that this is a start. So this is a very good start. I would say, because my game, what I'm focusing on is football, and in India, especially for the last 40, 50 years, there's been a huge downfall. Now, so there's no set standard for what boys were supposed to do. And like Aditya has done it for Punjab, we looked at world's best practices. Because again, sports is sports because it's not rocket science.
But I'd like to hear from you what's the Punjab government looking to work on when it comes to youth sports, specifically in the year 2024 and probably 2025.
Thank you. First of all, I take this opportunity to thank the Hindu group and the editor Sportstar for giving me the opportunity to be a panelist here. Being a last speaker from the administration side, it is very difficult to say new things to you, but everything is already spelled out by Rohan.
A topic that's been wandering everybody's mind since the beginning of the conclave. I'm the Paris Gold. 2024 is an Olympic year, and every conversation we have will invariably route its way back to this big year for Indian sports and its athletes. We are joined by two of Punjab's brightest sports people in the ecosystem today to explore this Parisian dream.
If I can just start off with, basically Asian Games एक बहुत high point था for both of you. आपने you got the Olympic quota confirmed at the Asian Games with the gold. You set all these records at the Asian Games. So if I can just ask you to briefly tell us how it's been from then to now in the last 4-5 months, professionally, personally, in terms of training, in terms of your performances and competitions. Just tell us briefly about the last 4-5 months, and then we can take on from that.
So I think Asian Games has changed my life, and not thinking about the world record. So I was not knowing that it's a world record. Media told me that it's a world record. So I think after that, yeah, we have to focus more on the sports, but it was really good.
I think कि जब हम हॉकी में एशियन गेम्स के बारे में बोलते हैं, हमारा मेन टारगेट यही होता है कि ओलंपिक क्वालिफायर्स, एंड वी जस्ट थिंक अबाउट गोल्ड मेडल. और कई बार जो हमारी लोग होते हैं वो बोलते हैं कि एशियन गेम्स हॉकी के लिए बहुत इजी होता है, बट आई गेस उनको याद नहीं है कि जब से एशियन गेम स्टार्ट हुई है, इंडियन हॉकी ने बस अभी तक 4 गोल्ड मेडल जीते हैं. तो एक काफ़ी हमारे लिए भी एक बहुत ज़्यादा हैक्टिक टूर्नामेंट होता है, बट हमारा मेन टारगेट यही होता है कि गोल्ड मेडल हम लेकर आए और ओलंपिक के लिए हम डायरेक्ट क्वालिफाई करें.
उसके बाद जब वो हो जाता है तो कितना प्रेशर निकल जाता है, बिकॉज यू द रेस्ट ऑफ द टाइम दैट यू हैव यू कैन एक्चुअली फोकस ऑन प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर द ओलंपिक्स एंड नॉट क्वालिफाइंग. सो इज दैट अ रिलीफ व्हेन यू गेट दैट मेडल एंड दैट प्रेशर आउट ऑफ द वे?
फॉर श्योर मैम, होता ही है मैम, बिकॉज हमारा ये होता है कि ज़्यादातर कि हमारे को ज़्यादा टाइम का एडवांटेज होता है. तो जो बाकी की यूरोप टीम है या कोई भी ऑस्ट्रेलिया, उनको ओलंपिक क्वालिफायर्स के लिए जाना पड़ता है. हमारे को इसका थोड़ा सा एडवांटेज होता है, बट स्टिल हमारा मेन टारगेट यही होता है कि ओलंपिक है. और जैसे कि सर ने बोला कि ओलंपिक हर एक 4 साल बाद नहीं आती, लाइक फॉर आवर टीम इट्स एवरी डे.
And as I mentioned before, this is the final segment. But to thank you all and to deliver the vote of thanks, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Mr. Satish Mendon, National Head Sales and Events, the Hindu Group.
Good evening all. I think we had a fabulous host today who anchored the event so well. But yes, having said that, this is the 10th city we are hosting Sportstar Sports Conclave, and this is the 10th one, the first in Punjab, hosting in Chandigarh. It's always special to host anything first, and it's just dear to all of us. I'm happy that the Sportstar edit team did their best in picking up those topics which are relevant to this state. I'm sure this topics what we had in the day-long panel discussion is going to help the KPMG, our knowledge partner, in putting across a white paper, and probably this will help the state government in drafting the sports policy. Having said that, I would like to also thank the sports minister and all the panelists who attended, who came and graced this event. Thank you so much for that. Event of this scale definitely need a lot of collaboration and partnership. My entire editorial team from Sportstar, who've been fabulous, trying to pick up, doing the fabulous job on this entire curation of this event. Thank you, Sportstar edit team. Also my colleagues from the sales, who could line up a huge list of sponsors as you can see on the back. Also like to thank the regional team here, Vinny Jetli, Mohit and Amit, who did a fabulous job ensuring that we have a successful day here in Chandigarh. Also like to thank my events operation head, Sagar. Sagar, great show on this event. Finally, event of this scale definitely need sponsorship funding, and these are our sponsors. I'd like to thank my sponsors, starting with social cause partner, Hero We Care, Hero Motocorp CSR Initiative, our associate sponsor, Indian Oil, our Great Tech sports partner, who is the sports infra partner, our knowledge partner, KPMG, and NewsX, our telecast partner. Do continue reading Sportstar and Hindu. To conclude, I would also like to thank the state government, state of Punjab, for supporting this event, and all the officials in the state bureaucrats who have graced our occasion. So thank you so much. Continue reading Sportstar in Hindu. Look out for the complete coverage of this event, tomorrow's Hindu issue. Thank you so much all. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.